Doing candid reviews nobody asked for, QC edition. Starting off, we were greeted by the celebratory flowers at the entrance to mark the soft opening of Milk Plus Studio. The cafe itself is bright with a lot of sockets scattered around, internet, and ACR. We were able to meet Keith, the owner, and he's usually the one behind the counter personally making your drinks. We ordered a lot, so let's get into it, starting with the pour-over coffee. It is a juicy and vibrant coffee with some apple notes. And for a local coffee, it is really well toasted, making it an 8 out of 10. Moving on to the next coffee, the Duet, a short white and espresso. It is an 8.5 out of 10 and overall the texture was smooth. The drink was well balanced and the milk was fresh. Now, the churro waffle was a 7.5 out of 10. It is very sweet alone, and you can get a bit umai, but then the sweetness of the waffle really complements the bitter coffee. And our last drink was the matcha lemonade, and let me tell you, it was definitely a unique and new experience. On the first sip, you taste the matcha, but then you get hit by the lemon aftertaste. I found it a bit too sour, and it wasn't my cup of tea, making it a 6 out of 10. Next up, we met Aldwin in Prodigy Coffee and Roastery. He was also behind the counter making us drinks. It was a fairly small but lively place with parking, sockets, and a CR. We mostly saw people studying or catching up on work. We got 2 drinks this time, starting off with a filtered pour-over coffee using an Ethiopian blend. This was a 7 out of 10 because it was kinda bland, but the horchata was an 8 out of 10. It was less sweet compared to the regular horchatas I've had and more on the cinnamony side. As for the texture, I found it fairly creamy. Right next door, we visited Van Leeuwen where we met Bianca. She owns a cozy bakery and we felt the heat coming from the ovens. There aren't any tables or chairs to lounge in, so it was more of a grab-and-go type of place. We got their cannolis and their cardamom buns. The cannoli was a 2 out of 10. It was cold, dry, and cakey. It's actually supposed to be crispy on the outside and soft on the inside, but personally, we also couldn't taste the difference between the flavors. The cardamom bun naman was like a 4 out of 10. We feel like it is a really acquired taste, and we don't have that. To us, it tasted a bit like medicine, but then we do see the appeal. Now for our last stop of the day, Benny and Sherry. This place is good for both studying since they have outlets and parking, and also for catching up with friends because they offer brunch meals too. Since this was around noon, we got their fish and chips. It was a 7 out of 10. Most of the pieces were airy and juicy, but we also got a few ones that were just a bit dry and flat. We also got a dirty. Okay, but I will just let you know, share ko lang, our review is low-key biased because Candid created a coffee program of Benny's. But with that being said, this is the first dirty that came to Manila. It is a popular drink from Bangkok street vendors, and it is like drinking affogato, so it's like an 8 out of 10. And that is all for today. Thank you so much for joining us, and please drop us more cafe recos down below.